I'm Dr. Brant Larsen. Welcome to the video. We're going to talk about causes of low blood oxygen on this video. Obviously, we all know oxygen is critical for life, critical for good health, and we have to have a certain level of it in the body. So when we breathe in, we take in that air, there's a lot of body processes that happen that transport this oxygen throughout the body. Number one here, no particular order, is anemia. Anemia has to do with the red blood cells, hemoglobin, iron, and oxygen. All those things combined to transport oxygen around the body. There's various different forms of anemia. I'm not going to cover all those, but there's certain lab panels that can be run to check for all the different parameters of anemia. But it is a fairly common thing that I find. And if someone's anemia doesn't get fixed, they have all kinds of issues from that. Basically symptoms of low oxygen, right? But their body doesn't heal how it should because you don't have enough oxygen. So you have to get this fixed. Two is asthma. Obviously, if you're not breathing well, if you're constricted, short of breath, air hunger, you're obviously going to have low blood oxygen because you're not breathing correctly. Number three, congenital heart disease. This has to do with the genetic anomaly of the heart. Maybe you have a defect in there, a little hole, a valve issue, whatever, where the blood doesn't quite do what it's supposed to do as it goes through the heart. The heart doesn't quite pump the way it's supposed to. That's a congenital, heart problem. Number four, COPD. If you, don't know what it is, if you have this, you know about it, right? Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease is the name. Number five, sleep apnea. People who have sleep apnea wake up tired. Their brain doesn't work as well as it should because it's lacking oxygen multiple times a minute throughout the entire night, and they have a lot of issues there. So sleep apnea is a big one for low blood oxygen. There's many reasons for it. A big one is just waking and having too much weight, around your neck. There's other reasons as well. 6, medications. So medications, there's certain medications that can depress your breathing. It's your job to look at the label, to look at online, to look at the whole thing, get a magnifying glass out and look at that and read all the side effects and what it does to the body. So there are certain medications, just be aware of that. Number 7, rib fixation or subluxation. So a fixation is where it's stuck. Subluxation is where it's out of place. I'm a chiropractor. You want to get this checked because if your rib cage is not expanding how it should, whether it's out here or whether it's where it connects to the vertebrae on the back, that all has to move. And many people have restrictions where it's not moving how it should. That's where a good chiropractor comes into play. Number 8, diaphragm problems. Again, chiropractic comes in here because cervical 3 through 5, neck, so neck vertebrae, 3 through 5, is where the diaphragm nerve comes from. So if you have issues here, you can have issues with your diaphragm. And then the thoracic vertebrae as well play a big part in how the diaphragm works and pumps and does its whole action. And number 9, I see this one a lot because I work on the cranium of people. So I do cranial adjusting with my patients. Slow CSF motility. So cerebrospinal fluid flow is slowed. Things aren't moving how they should. So a lot of people that come to me, especially the first time, they get up off a table after I've adjusted their skull, and they're a little bit lightheaded. And I just tell them, just sit there for a second, 5 seconds, whatever. It goes away. And the reason is because there's better blood flow and better oxygen flow around the brain. And their body just has to get used to that. It just takes a few seconds and it normalizes. But slow CSF is another sign, or a cause I should say, of having low blood oxygen. drlarsen.com if you want to learn more, and I'll see you again on the next video.